will be on Wednesday, no? So, mag-long quiz ko Wednesday. Ang coverage is ecology and population, no? From the definition of terms down to the energy, the flow of energy in the ecosystem. And then, itong mga tinatawag natin na mga terrestrial ecosystem or the major ecosystems of the world. So I will not be sharing, no, as what I mentioned, I will not be sharing my PowerPoint na presentation. So all you have to do is listen and take down notes. So if you are kung nag-leave ka sa meeting, no, wala ka naminaw, you take the risk. Okay? So, I will be sharing my presentation. So, okay. So, these are what we call the land biomes. Okay. So biomes are geographic areas that have similar climates and ecosystem. So ito yung mga different terrestrial ecosystems that we can see, nakikita natin, na-observe natin, no, sa iba't ibang geographical locations. So there are 6 most important biomes: the tundra, the taiga, temperate deciduous forest, tropical rainforest, the grassland, and the desert. So grassland can be a prairie, tropical savanna, or they can be called as chaparral. No? So it depends kung asa siya na locate. Okay. So this the earth, no? Dari ang equator. Okay. So each color represents different biomes, no? Like the tundra, the purple one is the tundra, no? So diha nato makita ang mga uh, tundra biomes. Then the taiga, itong orange, no? And we have the temperate deciduous forest, itong light green, okay, or orange or olive green, no? And we have the tropical rainforest. So the Philippines, no, is or meron siyang tinatawag na tropical rainforest. Then we have the grassland and we have the desert. So ito yung Australia. So Australia also has a desert, no? So Africa and United States of America also, they have desert, no? Okay. So okay, so the first biome that we're going to discuss, no, are the tropical rain forest. No? So, example of countries na merong tropical rainforest, we have the Brazil. No? Brazil has the Amazon jungle. No? It is a tropical rainforest. The Philippines, meron tayo Mount Apo and Mount Hamiguitan Range. No? Uh, found in the Davao region. Then in Luzon, we also have the Sierra Madre. No? So that is also a tropical rainforest. So in Thailand, Indonesia, in Malaysia, in Brunei, no? So their forest is called a tropical rain forest. Okay, so the tropical rainforest is the Earth's most complex land biome. Okay, no, and we are located, no, near the equator. So located siya near the equator, and the temperature, no, has little variation. No? So wala siyang four seasons. Wala siyang winter, spring, summer, and fall. Only wet and dry. So there is no distinct seasonal changes. Okay. So what are the abiotic factors that we can observe in the tropical rain forest? Okay. First, the tropical rainforest has high biodiversity and biomass. No? So mataas yung kanyang biodiversity, and at the same time, because of high biodiversity, mataas din ang biomass. Both are hot and moist. No? So, this tropical rainforest, no, because both hot and moist, no, yung kanyang microclimate, this is ideal for bacteria and other microorganisms. They can quickly decompose matter on the forest floor, allowing nutrients to be recycled. So, the soil, the topsoil of the tropical rainforest is less than 1 centimeter, and about in terms of precipitation, the form of precipitation, we have an abundant precipitation all throughout the year. No, managitawag siyang tropical rainforest because the rain is abundant all throughout the year. No? So, maskin pa during summer time, no, or dry season, still mag-ulan gihapon. Okay. No? So that's the characteristic of a tropical rainforest. Okay. So the tropical rainforest actually is the home of most of the flora and fauna, plant and animals all over the world. No? Over 700 species of plants and 1,000 species of animals. So sunlight is the limiting factor in the tropical rainforest because sunlight cannot, no, lisod siya mo reach sa forest floor. Okay? Because the plants in the tropical rainforest tend to grow in layers. No? So the canopy, or those trees, no, that have wider branches, no, mo na sila ang maka-receive mostly of sunlight. Okay. Then, since the soil is ano siya, no, ang soil is medyo shallow, so plant tend to develop wide roots, no? So nag-develop siya og mga wide roots, and which are thin and poor in nutrients. So soil is thin and poor in nutrients. So little sun reaches the floor. So what are the animal adaptations, no, in the tropical rainforest? So many have symbiotic relationships. So na ay mga symbiotic relationship, no? So each one benefit na the other. No? So mana nga na siya yung symbiotic relationship. Okay? So they live in a different levels of canopy. So plants, I mean animals, no, that tend to eat branches, shoots, no. So most of them, no, tend to live sa mataas na part, no. And some those that bear fruits, ay those that eat fruits, no, sa mga fruit bearing trees, usually they live at the middle, and then those naman nasa sa floor. Okay. So many animals are specialists and require special habitat. Yeah? So they are specialists. So meaning, if they are specialists, hindi sila mga generalists, they are specialists. Therefore, they have a unique, in terms of habitat, unique. They have also a special habitat, special in yung kanilang food requirements. No? So this makes them very vulnerable to any changes in their habitat. No? So Mona, like the Philippine eagle. The Philippine eagle na is a specialist, and once the habitat is altered or changed and stripped, no, strip nimo ang habitat ng Philippine eagle, magbiso na siya o survive. Okay? Because it is highly territorial and you cannot expect the Philippine eagle to migrate to other forests. No? So, magpakamatay yun siya sa iyahang territory. And if the prey population, if the Philippine eagle prey population will decline, no, there's also a possibility that Philippine eagle population also will decline. No? Kasi yung kanyang favorite na food is the monkeys. No? Kaya nga tinatawag siya na the monkey eating eagle. No? Itawag siya nga monkey eating eagle. No? Ang Philippine eagle. Okay. Then camouflaging is very common. No? So when we talk about camouflage, so for example, this Wagler pit viper, no? So it follows, no? Bali, blend siya, no? Blend siya with its environment. For example, the color, no, is green, so yung kanyang outer body surface blends with the environment. So we call that camouflaging. And this is to one, to prevent them, no, from being seen by predators, or to prevent them from being predicted by the prey. No? So, kung tanaw na to ang kaning Wagler pit viper, akala natin na part siya ng leaves, no? But actually, it's a snake. So, nag-camouflage siya, no? So, ni-blend in siya sa iyahang environment. So, what are the threats to the tropical rainforest? Okay? Humans strip the rainforest for uses including logging and cattle ranching. Also, di ba? When you read the lesson 1 or 2 ba yun, ng module 2, di ba? It's about habitat fragmentation, habitat loss, and habitat alteration. No? So we tend to change, no, the habitat by stripping the vegetation of the rainforest because of logging, no, and cattle ranching. So gusto ta magtukod og mga different ranches, no? Okay, for business purposes. Okay, kasi mataas yung demand, no? Mataas yung demand ng population for beef, no, for poultry, for swine, ano pa. So, wala tayong ibang pwedeng magamit na land but the forest. So, we tend to strip, meaning we tend to alter now the habitat, or pag totally gistrip mo siya, there is now habitat loss, or if part of the rainforest, no, let's say you take 1/4 of the rainforest for ranching and so on, so you are doing some fragmentation. Okay. Then, in addition to the plants and animals that are displaced, no, by this destruction, the entire civilization of people are also without a home. True. No? Oh. So, actually wala tayong mga bahay no? Na talagang atin talaga, no? So, this is ironic, no? We tend to displace, no, plants and animals, and yet people are also without a home. Why? Because of population explosion. No? Population explosion. So, wala tanga. Actually, ma'am, daghan pa magyuta, ma'am. Pwede kapuyan sa tao. Giangkon lang yun siya sa pipila lang katao. Yes, that's one reason. But, okay, another reason is there are places on earth that are inhabitable. No? Meaning inhabitable, meaning hindi siya pwedeng tirhan, no? Baka pwede lang transient, no, for a certain time, but not really na dyan ka talaga titira, no? Because they are considered to be inhabitable. Okay, no? So inhabitable siya. Okay, because the abiotic factors, no, are very extreme, no, for human existence. No? Like for example, the Himalayas. No? In the Himalayas range, you cannot live in the Himalayas range, no, unless uh, doon sa pinakababa na part, no? Kung doon sa taas, no, like in the Mount Everest, is a inhabitable place. Although people are going there, no, for recreational purposes, no, for fun, adventure, adrenaline, na mga adrenaline ko na mga activities, but you cannot live there, no, for the rest of your life. Okay, and there are no organisms, other organisms that can live there, no? So muna gitawag sila nga mga inhabitable, no? And even also in the middle of the desert, no, wala din, no? So inhabitable siya. So people not tend to live in places that the abiotic factors are optimum for living, no? For living conditions. Okay. So then we have the temperate deciduous forest. So we have the temperate deciduous forest, no? So location, they are found in the temperate zone, about 48 degrees north of latitude. And much of the human population lives in this biome. No, much of the human population live in this biome. No? So, bakit tinatawag siya na temperate deciduous forest? Because these are characterized by an abundance of deciduous mga leaf-bearing trees, no? Or leaf-bearing trees. And this temperate deciduous is characterized by four seasons, no? The winter, spring, summer, and fall. And the leaves, okay, turn yellow, orange, or brown, no, during fall or autumn, in preparation for the incoming winter, because the trees need to the trees need to arrest photosynthesis, no? So i-arrest niya ang photosynthesis for the incoming winter. Soils, the deep soils are in deep layers, no, that are very rich in nutrients, no? And precipitation is 30 to 100 inch per year and in all forms. So different forms of precipitation include snow, rain, slate, fog, hail, no? So muna diri sa mga temperate deciduous forest. Okay. Then what are the plant adaptations in this mga temperate deciduous forest? So, by the way, yung mga ano pala, yung mga plants that are present in the temperate deciduous forest includes the mga birch trees, no, mga hemlocks, no, hickory, mga oak, okay, maple trees, no? So, lady ferns, we have mga shrubs, okay? So, deciduous forests grow in layer and more sunlight reaches the ground compared to a rainforest. So, you will find more ground-dwelling plants, no? So, sa rainforest, muna, ang temperate deciduous forest class, gitawag siya nga woods rather than forest, no? Pwede ka mga payo, no, underneath the woods. So, di ba kanang tanaw ka og kanang mga series like yung mga Game of Thrones, no, yung mga witchers, di ba, makikita mo or into the woods, no, so they can just pwede rin sila mga payo underneath, no, the trees, okay. there is a temperate deciduous forest. But in the tropical rainforest, kay arang kabagnot, no? Di ka pwede mga bayo unless kung na ay footpath. No? Okay, or path. Okay. So, temperate deciduous forest, the plants are more diverse, no? Than the coniferous forest due to the increase in sunlight. So trees adapt to varied climate by becoming dormant in the winter. They become dormant because they arrest photosynthesis. So what are the animals found in the temperate deciduous? We have the bald eagle, no? Okay, so mani sila, they lose their winter coat and they adapt to many seasons and they eat from the different layers of the forest. Okay. What are the threats in the temperate deciduous forest? Many forests are cleared to provide housing for humans. No? Oh. So again, no, it's for human no, ano, development. Okay. Then, careful use of the resource can provide a renewable system if we don't take too much or away. Okay. So, we tend to ano, okay. Then, we have the taiga, also known as the northern coniferous forest or the boreal forest. The taiga. Actually, tundra and taiga, then temperate deciduous. Okay. So the taiga is found only in the northern hemisphere. No? So coniferous siya because the plants here bear cones. No? So the seeds are kept in the cone, not inside the fruit. They don't bear fruits, no? But rather they bear cones. Okay. Naman gitawag sila ng mga gymnospermy. Ang mga flowering plants gitawag siya nga angiospermy. Okay. So taiga, winters are long and cold, no? And the mostly the precipitation is in the form of snow. No? Kaning mga Canada, part of China, Russia, mga sila mga taiga. Okay. So, the soil is poor in nutrients and very acidic, and the growing season is very short. So, kaning mga conifers, no? In other countries, they use this for Christmas trees, di ba? O man na gikan ato ang concept sa Christmas tree. Shape siya as parang cone, no? Okay, what are the taiga plant adaptations? Okay, coniferous trees are abundant, no? And itawag ng mga needle bearing. We don't call their leaves as leaves, but rather needles, no? Okay. Roots long to anchor trees. Needles are long, thin, and waxy, and low sunlight and poor soil keeps plants from growing. Okay. So, muna siya ng balsam fir tree. If you can remember the first line of the song, 12 Days of Christmas. A partridge in a fir tree. A partridge in a fir tree. Oh, wala siya. This is a fir tree. Ginagamit na siya ng Christmas tree. So, in Europe and part of US, no? So, all throughout the year, ginagrow nila ng fir tree because during December, mapalit ni sila. No? Palito nila ni ilang ikat and then you can have now a Christmas tree in your backyard or inside your home. And then, wala na, ilabay na po na nila. No? And they only celebrate Christmas during December. Unlike here in the Philippines, we celebrate Christmas in advance. Our Christmas is as early as September. You know? The Burr months. Okay. So what are the animals and the animal adaptations in the taiga? Okay, so moose, no, mga great gray owl are most common. They adapt for cold winters. No? So they are adapted to cold winters. Then they tend to burrow or hibernate, no? And they develop warm coat for insulation. No? So, yun, mga bison, no? Lalo sa mga taiga. Okay. Uh, so what are the threats to taiga? Mining operations can irreparably damage this fragile ecosystem. So pollution left behind can also put animals and plants at risk. No? So mining na is a threat to taiga, and pollution also kasi marami mag-glamping. No? Karon class kay na naman tayo other term for camps. No? Kaning glamping, no? We call this glamorous camping. Pag sinabi na glamorous camping, you have a tent but it's furnished, no? Fully air conditioned, with ref, with sauna, with mga tawag siya nga glamorous camping. Kaya kung camping na siya nga ordinary, no? O wala siya proper na toilet, wala proper nga lutuanan, no? So, stuff. In other places, no, meron na tayong mga new mga resorts, but the resort is glamping, no? Glamorous camping. We have in the Philippines, like in El Nido, na? In El Nido, meron ng anong tawag sa resort na yun, may glamping na sila. Okay. But of course, only the rich people can afford kasi per night, numara po siyang hotel, no, mahal kayo. Okay, anyway. Savannas, or we call them the tropical grasslands, savanna. They contain the greatest number of grazing animals on Earth. Okay? So, actually, itong mga grasslands class, gitawag na sila ng mga food basket of the world. No? So, why they're called food basket of the world? Because they, people no, tend to make this ecosystem as a farming areas, no, for mga wheat, rye, barley, corn, no? Okay. So, yeah. Now in the tropical savanna, okay, they're found in the tropics that are near the equator, and the amount of precipitation support tall grasses but only occasional trees. And most of the trees are acacia. No? Okay. So tropical savanna, so dry, no? And the precipitation is 25 to 150 inches per year. And the fire plays a large role in this ecosystem. Okay. So, what are the plant adaptations in a tropical savanna? So they grow in tufts, okay, and they are very resistant to drought. No, yung mga plants are very resistant to drought kasi yung uh, occasional lang kasi yung kanilang rainfall. No? And many plants have thorn and sharp leaves to prevent predation. No? Okay. So, and ano yung makikita natin ng mga animals and ano yung adaptations, no, ng mga animals in the savanna. So they adapt for short rainy season and they migrate as necessary. So limited food leads to vertical feeding, and they reproduce during rainy season and ensures more young survival. Okay, so yun. Yun yung mga lion, no, they are in the savanna. Okay. What are the threats to tropical savanna? No? Invasive species. So, I don't know kung napabasa niyo na ba yung lesson 3 ng module 2. No? It is all about invasive species, introduced exotic species. No? And changes in the fire management. Actually, kasi the fire plays an important role in this ecosystem. So, fire enhances growth of grasses, actually. It enhances growth of grasses ang fire. Ang dito sa atin, Di ba, pag kung na kay kogon, kakugunan, no, imo siyang sunugon. Actually, you're just enhancing the growth of the kugon. Akala mo pinapatay mo na yung kugon, but actually you're just enhancing the growth of the kugon. So that's mali siya na practice, no? Okay, because the grasses na are dependent on fire. Okay. So because of their low elevation in savanna, okay, they are being threatened, no, by minor rises in the sea level associated with global climate change. No? So, yun ang isa sa mga threats to the tropical savanna. The steppe, no? So, this is another grassland. They are dry, cold grasslands, okay? And I think sila yung makikita natin sa part ng later, papakita ko kung saan sila pwedeng makita. No? Okay, I think it's part of the US, no? Itong mga steppe. So they are found in Russia and Ukraine. Okay. So steep abiotic factors, okay, less than 50 inch of rain, no, per year or snow. So mountains often play a role in the climate characteristics. So ano yung plant adaptations ng mga steppe? Most abundant are plant called mga bunch grasses, fine-bladed grasses that grow in clumps to preserve water. Okay. So the plants tend to have mga fine mga blade yung kanilang mga leaves, no, because this is for water preservation. So ano yung mga adaptations? So many animals tend to migrate, no? They hibernate or burrow during extremes in temperature and precipitation. Okay. Then, what are the threats? Overgrazing. Then, nomadic tribes have started to spend more time in one location. So, nauubos ang grasses kasi itawag kay overgrazing man, no? Then meron na mga infrastructure developments, roads, mga buildings, no? So nagtukod na ang mga hotels, no? For tourist kasi itong mga grassland is a tourist attraction because of the animals, no? Mga wild animals na makikita, no? Okay. Then unmanaged hunting and poaching is destroying herds of animals, no? So hunting, no, and poaching are the threats to this. While we have the prairie, no? Mga prairie, okay, money siya ang mga tawag sa mga grasslands whenever nga depende sa asa nga mga location, no, nga makita, no? So pampas is also a grassland. Okay. So okay. So what are the adaptations of plants? Sod-forming grasses that won't dry out or blow away in winds. No? Okay. So prairie animal adaptations, many adapted to survive extremes environment. No? Okay. So grasslands are mga tao siya nga food basket. Okay. The chaparral, on the other hand, okay, this is a transition between grassland and forest. No? And they are primarily found in the coastal areas of the Mediterranean climates. No? They are hot, dry in summers, mild, wet in winter. So slight variations in seasonal temperature. So we have Mediterranean chaparral, California chaparral, no? And ano ba itong mga adaptations, no, ng mga plants? Mostly low-lying shrubs and small trees. Many plants have leathery leaves to resist water loss, and many plants have oils in their leaves to help them resist fire. So the fire will take out the weaker plants, no? that do not survive. So I know that you're very familiar with this kind of plant, no? Nakalimot ko sa pangalan ani niya, but because I very familiar with the scientific name. This is the Mimosa pudica. No? Okay. So, sige, nakabalugan ni Ani. Talaga ni, kung imong gunitan.
Makahiya,
ma'am. Ah, yes, lawin si Ma'am Chef. Nakakahiya si Ma'am Chef. Yan ang makahiya. Mas familiar sa akin ang scientific name. Okay. Yes, the makahiya. Okay. Makahiya plant is not endemic to the Philippines. So, meaning hindi siya originally, no? From the Philippines, but it was galing siya sa ibang bansa, no? Taken by mga plant collectors, no? And then gitanom diri syempre, and yahang mga pollen, no? So maadto sa kuha madala sa hangin, so muglaw na pud siya impuhan. So muna nga widely distributed ang makahiya, no? All over the Philippines. So sometimes they can be a nuisance, no, sa bisa na sa ato ang mga farmlands, sa ato ang mga they are called weeds, no, mga weeds sila. So yun lang, we enjoy, no, touching them, but actually so yun. So dili gikan sa Philippines, it's not originally from the Philippines but in other countries. So inyuhan lang siya mabasa sa case study sa katong handout sa invasive species nga akong upload sa LMS. So you can read about the Mimosa pudica. Okay. Then chaparral animal adaptations. Okay. They tend to camouflage to avoid predation. So muna kaniyang mga markings, no, sa iyahang body, no, abi na sa predator or sa prey, or kung naa pa siya predator or prey, abi lang nila o part gihapon na siya sa mga blades ng grasses, but actually it's just a marking, no? So it blends with its environment. So many animals will change their diet as the season will change. Okay. What are the threats to the chaparral? Human development again. No? Very desirable climate for humans to live. Okay. No? Kasi hindi masyadong mainit, hindi masyadong malamig. So, very desirable to live. So, human development tends to become a threat to the chaparral. Okay. Then we have the desert ecosystem. So, alam naman natin ano yung desert. So depending on the type of the desert, you will find them in various locations. Okay. So ano ba yung abiotic factors ng mga desert? Less than 10 inch of rain per year. Minsan once a year lang mag-ulan, no, sa desert. So little to no topsoil due to high winds, and minerals do not found deep in the soil. So too dry, very dry, no, ang desert. So while there are many types of deserts, they all share one characteristics. They are the driest places on Earth. Okay. So ano ba yung adaptations ng mga desert plants? Okay? They have spines in their body. They are succulent. And they develop thick waxy cuticle, and they have shallow broad roots. So itong mga spines, they are to prevent predation, no, of other animals. Kasi may mga kumakain kasi ng mga cactus. No? And succulent because they have no true leaves and true trunks, no, or true stem. Everything is photosynthetic kasi they tend to conserve, no, moisture sa air, and then store that in their system, okay, para to conserve water. Okay. So desert animals, no, they develop thick outer coat, okay, no, para dili sila makuan, no, sa init, and they get water from the food kasi very scarce, no, scarce ang water sa desert. So they burrow during daytime and they only go out during nighttime. So they are nocturnal, no, mga nocturnal, meaning they are active during nighttime, no, mga nocturnal sila, no. They have larger ears and uh, tend to become very small, no, compared to other areas, no, biomes that medyo malalaki ang mga animals. But here, small, no, because kailangan nila mag-burrow sila, no, kay init, so kinahanglan gyud sila mo kung ilubong nila ilang kaugalingon, no, kay para maiwas ang init. So, muna nga, during daytime, they sleep, they have tawag sila mga nocturnal. Okay. So, what are the threats to the desert? Okay. For residential development, no? Las Vegas is a desert, actually, but look at Las Vegas. No? The casino capital of the world. No? Hotels, casinos. But it's a desert, actually. No? So, off-road, recreational activities destroy habitats for plant and animals, no? Kaning mga off-road, no? So, nanay mga recreational activities, no? Kaning mga off-road, no? Okay, so actually they destroy habitats that plant animals. So, some plants are being removed by collectors, endangering the population. Okay. Then we have, okay, last, the tundra. No? Tundra, they are found at the north of the Arctic Circle. So, pinakataas. No? So, north of the Arctic Circle. And, okay, no? So, less than 25 inch of rain per year. No? And the temperature is really higher than 10 degrees Celsius. And in the tundra, they experience winter 6 to 9 months, no? And with no daylight. And summer are very short. Imagine, with no daylight. No? But during summer, 24 hours po ang daylight. Okay? Imagine that. 24 hours ang daylight for summer, but 6 to 9 months without daylight, it's winter. Okay? No? And the soil is permanently frozen, and that is what we call permafrost. No? Permafrost. Okay. So yes. So short growing season yung mga plants. Okay. So plants adapted to growing close to the ground, and they have shallow roots to absorb the limited water resources. And the trees grow less than 1 meter in height. So actually,
afternoon, class.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Sa pangutanan ni mo kiyan.